Hi everyone, welcome to Dream Dentistry. So now today we will be assessing one of the most important technical tasks provided in the Australian Dental Council examinations. All right, so we will assess this task with our criteria provided by the ADC. Now I've got a putty here, but it's not an ideal one, and usually which is just I've used an old one just for the measurements here, but usually we recommend taking at least three putties for accurate measurements. All right, okay, so the first criteria is the margin position, and margin is zero point 0.5 millimeters supragingival. So let's have a look. And yes, so facially it is less than 1 millimeter, I would say. Maybe a little bit of equigingival here, but it's not. And then let's have a look palatally, and it is all around less than 1 millimeter. All right, so that's what you are aiming for, and the satisfactory criteria says margin is equigingival or greater than 1.0 millimeter supragingival. Okay, so that I would say that does fall under satisfactory. And now with the margin width, let's have a look. So we are aiming somewhere between 1.2 to 1.5, so you can fall on the satisfactory buccally, and definitely less than 1 millimeters palatally. Right, let's have a look. Yes, that is just a bit more than 1 millimeters. So basically you check, so when you mean facially, it's from point here until point here. All right, I wouldn't so at some points I would say it is only 1 millimeters, so which means that you might fall under border. Now moving on to the fourth criteria, which is the damage to adjacent or assessment tooth beyond preparation. All right, now if you can see, I'm not sure if you can actually see, but there is damage to this adjacent premolar here, but it's not quite evident, or we can just smoothen it. But yes, there is damage, so I would say minor damage to the adjacent tooth. And the next one is damage to gingiva. I don't see any damage to gingiva, and that's fine. And debris, there are no debris present, it's nice and clean. Tooth selection, yes, correct tooth prepared. Path of insertion, the optimal path of insertion for final restoration. So basically path of insertion, we are mainly looking at the taper, and looking at this, it looks like it's got an path of insertion that can be managed by the lab. All right, so and the next one is undercuts. So checking for undercuts. Now let's move the probe straight all around, and yes, as far as I can see, there are no undercuts. And so the other way to check undercut is that when you put your prep like that, you should be able to see all the margin. All right, so which I can in this, so that is fine. And overall preparation of taper of 12 degrees, that's what is very good. But if you can see, the best way usually I check for taper is put your perio probe just right in there, and if the crown is a bit tapered, then that's your taper. All right, it shouldn't be straight, or it shouldn't be the other way around, but both sides put your perio probe, and the preparation should taper a bit. All right, not over taper. Reduction anatomy, uniform reduction reflex anatomy, I would say the singular maybe not quite bit, so maybe general maintenance of occlusal anatomy. And occlusal reduction allowing full occlusal ceramic coverage, which is the occlusal reduction. Let's just try this putty here, and it's not quite good, but anyway. So if you see First, make sure that the putty is quite nicely adapted to the margin. And so if you can see, it's actually 3 millimeters, 3 or just 2.8 I would say. So with occlusal reduction, always over reduction is still fine, but do not under reduce. All right, it's because very good says occlusal reduction of 2 millimeters, and you will fall in satisfactory even if you prep more than 2 until 3 is fine. Okay, and the lingual reduction is usually I keep it less than 1. So let's have a look. Yeah, I would say 0.9 or maybe 1, if you can appreciate that. And then buccal reduction, buccal mesial distal reduction of 1.2. Let's have a look. It's actually a bit more. It's 1.8. And then here it's maybe 1.5. So buccal mesial reduction of 1 to 1.8, you still fall under satisfactory, but I think I've reduced a bit more, so I will stay 1.5, which is on the safe side. And now line angles, all line angles are well rounded. Let's have a look. I could have rounded a bit more of here so that you get a nice, I can see a bit of sharpness here. So yes. Now checking the margin width lingually, let's have a look. I would say definitely less than 1 millimeter. Make sure to stay behind the first black line. All right. Okay. So now the third criteria is margin form. The margin is smooth, continuous and identifiable. So as you can see, it is smooth, continuous and identifiable. So that's fine. There are no roughness. So that's all our assessment done for today. So what we'll do is I will see you back all with another assessment. As you can see, I've got few preps here, which I'll be doing this week. So yes, see you all with another technical task, and let's assess it together next time. Thank you.